Hello again. We are about 5 days post hair transplant now, so I thought it'd be worth going through a bit of an update and some of the things I've experienced in the first 5 days. Initially, the clinic will give you, after your hair transplant, something like this to wear. So this is from Dr. T Hair Transplant, where I had mine done, and this was quite good actually because it protects the donor area and it stops the swelling moving down your face. I have noticed in the first few days that the swelling has gradually moved down. It's still on my forehead a little bit now and my eyes a little bit, you can kind of see, but it has moved down gradually. That wasn't too much of a problem at all. In terms of healing, I had my first head wash today. That's a little bit uncomfortable, not being able to wash your hair for the first few days because it does smell a little bit as well. But now I've had a bit of a head wash. It's looking quite clean, to be honest. I'll do a few close-ups for you to have a look. And the donor area is healing up nicely as well. It's not looking too bad at all. I'll turn around so you can see that. Not too bad at all recovery-wise. As I say, I flew in on the Sunday for my hair transplant. I had that on the Monday, stayed in Limak Hotel in Turkey. Went straight in for the consultation, straight through to the hair transplant, and then I was back home at 7 o'clock. It was about a 5-hour procedure on the Monday, and I was back home on the Tuesday in the afternoon. So it was a quick turnaround. I wouldn't have wanted to spend too much more time in Turkey. It's been, I got everything that I needed to get done, and then flew straight back. Easier to recover at home as well and easier to sleep at home. I've propped myself up to reduce the swelling as they recommend, but that's pretty tricky getting sleep. So that's been the main thing. I'm starting to get a little bit of an itchy donor area now as well, which I'd heard from a few other videos. You can also see that the hairs, that they're starting to poke out a little bit. It's not so red anymore. It's a little bit bruised at the front, but it's not so red. And the hairs are actually poking through now. I can see them. And if you touch it gently, I only just gently touch it, not actually touching the scabs, you can feel the hairs are actually very spiky. They're very sharp. I think they do soften up a little bit over time, but I think these hairs will eventually fall out. As the process, that's usually what happens. They tend to shed because the follicle gets transplanted with the hair actually through the follicle, and then oftentimes because of the shock of the operation, the hair will fall out, but the follicle stays in at the front. So I'm anticipating that in the next couple of months. But it's looking good. The only little concern that I've got is on this side. You can see the hairline, it's been brought into the corner, which is great, that's what I wanted, but it's still a bit thin behind that, this little strip of skin here, if I go in a bit closer. Now, I'm not too concerned because I style my hair this way anyway, so it'll cover anything up, but I'm hoping that I don't have some sort of patch where it's lacking hair. I would have rather that been connected up a little bit more, but it might just be the bruising as well. It might just be the contrast of my head at the moment. It's a little bit the same on that side as well. And once this hair grows through, I'm sure it'll all mix in. So I'm not too fussed about that. Still liking the look of the hairline. It's looking really good. I wouldn't want it any lower than that. Yeah, pleased with it. So today was the first day 5, this is. So I had it done on the Monday and now it's Friday. I did the first hair wash today. That was no problem. They give you a couple of different products to use and medication as well. So medication-wise, they will give you, from Dr. T Hair Transplant, Tetradox, which is an antibiotic. That's to be taken in the first 6 days. Prednol, which is to help with the swelling. They're not very nice pills. Lansor, which is a stomach protector. And that's before breakfast each day. And also April Fort, which is a bit of a painkiller. I only took one on the first day, but didn't need the painkiller on the second day. There was no need for it. But no pain at all on the head. A little bit itchy at the back perhaps, but it's healing up nicely now. My hair's starting to grow through pretty quick, and the donor area's healing up really nice actually. I don't think that's going to be a problem for too much longer. A lot of my family have said you can't really notice that much anyway, so that's good. A few notes that I made about the operation and the process so far that I thought I'd go through with you guys if any of you thinking about getting a hair transplant in Turkey. Pain-wise, it was low on pain. It was a 6 to 7, but it was uncomfortable. So I'd say it as a 9 out of 10 for how uncomfortable it was. I heard people say that they'd fallen asleep before in the operations. That isn't something that would have happened for me. It was quite uncomfortable. Needing to wee, things like that, because when they put the fluids in your arm, it goes straight through your body. And, you know, when the doctor's only been trying to take out your grafts for about an hour, you know there's a lot longer left, and you don't want to get out of that chair to waste time in the toilet if you don't have to. So it is a bit uncomfortable. And as I say, I did feel pain probably 10% of the time. So 1 in 10, I actually felt the insertion of the needle. That did hurt a little bit. It wasn't so much the pain. The pain was about a 7.5, but it was the anxiety of, is the next one going to hurt? Is it not? That's why it was so uncomfortable for me, the operation. But I'm so glad it's done now, and I'd definitely, you know, in the future, if I needed to go back, I'd definitely go back, because now it's out the way. It's just waiting for the results to come through. So I'm really looking forward to that. I thought it'd be worth mentioning what the team at Dr. T Hair Transplant are like. They were fantastic, really, really good. I would not hesitate to recommend people going to Dr. T Hair Transplant. Obviously, it'll depend on the results, but the experience I had was really, really good, really professional. As good as anything I'd have in the UK, so I was really pleased with that. He's in a hospital as well, which was reassuring, especially since my heart rate wouldn't come down. They had a cardiologist at hand, which is really good. The kind of sounds you can hear when they're taking out the grafts at the back, when they drill in, it's like a very, very, very fine sander, you know, like something to sand wood down. And when they insert into your head, it's like crunching in the snow. It's like if you listen to the snow, when you put your foot in the snow, that crunch, that's what it sounds like a little bit. But because they're doing it so fast, you don't really have too much time to think about it. Yeah, it's a relief now it's done. It's important that after the operation you keep hydrated, eat lots of good healthy food. So I'm trying to eat much better and drink a lot of fluids. You also get a little spray, ATP spray. I'm not sure what's actually in the spray. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. So I'm thinking that they think that might energize the hair follicles. I'm not sure how much truth there is in that, but it does keep it moist, the area. So about 3 times a day I will spray my head with the ATP solution. The shampoo was very soft, very gentle on the skin, and then tomorrow I have to start using a bit of a cream which soothes the area and starts to soften up the scabs a little bit. These scabs should all come out by day 14. So I've got my sister to wash the area. Today I told her not to actually touch the area. We just kind of dabbed the foam on, didn't actually touch the hairs. I think it would be worth waiting just a few more days before we start actually dabbing the area with the hands to try and get the scabs off. Just so that the hair grafts are definitely cemented into the head. That's what I'm worried about. I'm really keen to keep every single graft that I've got. I'm sure they're probably already fused now, and to have them removed, I'd probably need it surgically done, but I definitely want to make sure I keep everything that I can. I'm constantly thinking what the hair's going to look like when it actually grows through. You you know, because before when I used to do that with my hair, with my head, you know, there was no hair there. There was no hair at all. It was soft all the way back. So now that I can go all the way up to here and then suddenly I can feel these little hairs poking through, it's absolutely crazy. It's really, really crazy how fast it happens, and how fast you get used to it. It's going to be really interesting to see the results when they finally come through. I think in the next few videos, I might make a few videos on tips for getting a hair transplant in Turkey, things to think about before getting a hair transplant in Turkey. As I say, I've been on medication now. I've been on finasteride and minoxidil about 4 to 5 years, because I started losing my hair pretty young. Probably about 18, 19 was when it was getting pretty poor. And that's when I started finasteride and minoxidil, which worked. So it might be worth making a video on finasteride and minoxidil as well, if that would be useful to anyone. And I'll keep documenting my progress as I go through. So today is day 5. I'll probably give another update about 10 days or 2 weeks every time we get significant progress, and then probably every month. If there's any requested videos that you'd like to see, then I can also do that. Okay, I'll keep you updated, and I will post another video probably about day 10 or day 14. Okay.